All right, I'm recording. Still on page 10. I haven't done the speech bubbles here or here, and I've still got this figure over here. But I can just tell you what's on the micronib. Why is it on the micronib? Oh, I know why. It's because of this texturing. So let me continue with that. Today is Monday. It is now 3:45. Things are going well. I was watching the Cartoonist Kayfabe video about Gothic Blimpworks, and it's pretty impressive. I definitely still want to do my quarterly idea. I think I want to do another newspaper. I did one last year, and I only did four pages, tabloid sized, but I might do another one. It's such a cool format, and I learned a lot around the first time I did it. The only real problem on it is, when you're working with print on demand, you can do everything for essentially free. That was the whole secret behind how 9-volt works. Is you make your comic, scan it, it becomes a PDF. Everything's digital, and in the world of electronics, it's not even a real tangible object yet. And to make it print, you'll find a print on demand publisher, and you pay for the printing for 1 or 2 or 10 books, and it's not prohibitively expensive at all. Nothing gets done for free. There's no such thing. And also, at this level, crowdfunding is stupid. It's a retarded idea to crowdfund a book with no buyers, because you're basically going to be selling it to friends and family. You're going to ask your friends and family for $25 an issue, rather than give it to them for $6. Say, look, man, it's $6. Thanks for supporting me. At some point, you have to figure out how you're going to manage the shipping off to. And this was the big deal for me, was our international contributors. And, Lulu and presumably Amazon would solve that issue pretty easily, because they can handle it. They can handle not just the storefront issues, but the shipping issues as well. So you're not, stuck with packaging and mailing it yourself. I know I put the clasp over there for some reason, but I think I'm going to put it back here. But for newsprint, it's a different world. You do have to buy them up front, and then you have to invest in it, and presumably you would want to sell them. They're not even trying to sell comics, so why are they trying to make comics? Someone idiotic once said. But I think they misunderstand. In the world of self-publishing and the self-publishing expo and all that stuff, you have a pretty good chance of still being able to sell it. And if it's really a matter of just getting onesies and twosies, 1 or 2 copies of a thing, it's a fine way to do it, especially if you're working with multiple contributors, who are at different levels and different levels of contribution. Much more in the fanzine world at that point. I want to put something special on this form of alphabets here. Hmm. He has these runes that go down the what do you call that? The border of his cloak here. All right. So I think we have to come on now. So now that he's ghostly, he ghosting. Straight up ghosting. I thought about doing like an exposed rib cage or something. Maybe if over time, if I ever appear again or something like that. The Ghost of Alcabets. I've already named one character Quixote, and I had originally thought I would make Alcabets. I would name him Banquo after the ghost in Macbeth. But maybe that's a little bit too much foreshortening. I hope I've. Yeah, I've got plenty of room. I was wondering if I was going to run out of space to write these runes on. Okay. This is kind of like a yellow kid thing here. Oops. Oof. Okay, as soon as I finish the energy aura, I can do tones. And one of those tones is going to be the underside of the hat. I already thought about using the blowout um, for the shader. one of my duotone. The reason this is closer to the border is we're gonna, like I've done before, we're gonna use the panel edge as part of our um, speech bubble. So while we're on that subject, let's go ahead and do that. And it looks like we can do both these guys at the same time. Yeah. It's a little bit comedic. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. What's wrong? What did I break? There it is right there. There it is right there. All right. Don't bother, boys. I didn't make it. I'll mention this every time. Speech bubbles are important to hand draw them. Throwing the oval around them just doesn't. It's not a good solution. And I'm wondering if I could have. He's undead now, so maybe his voice is different. Maybe we do like a, something like that, or even. How did they always do, like. Even Ghost Rider's voice would use a different font. We could put the drips at the bottom. That's the cold. Um, you could do like a cold, but I want to look more supernatural than cold. Sometimes cold implies a tone, like an icy tone. I was reading Buzz Sawyer last night, and it's the arc where he's back from the Navy, and he's trying to find a job in the civilian sector. That works. And everyone keeps trying to hook him up with Tot Winter, who was his girlfriend early in the series, who's in New York. She's inherited $1 million, and she's dating. She's dating a goofy-looking composer named Franco Confetti, which is a funny enough name. But whenever somebody has a telegram for him, they call him Frankie Spaghetti, and it makes me laugh every time. Telegram from Mr. Frankie Spaghetti. Well, tell me those guys didn't have a good sense of humor back in the day. All right, let's take a look at this without pencil lines. Telegram from Mr. Frankie Spaghetti, and he usually corrects them. It's Franco Confetti. And at one point, she runs into Buzz Sawyer in New York, where he's just gotten a job flying for International Airlines, which I don't think is a real airline, but and they weren't going to hire him because he was too much of a dog pilot when he was in the Navy, and he flew under a bridge, and they were like, "That's it, you're out." But they hire him anyways, and but Tot Winter still tries to get him interested in her. So she has him show up at some place where she's there with the Count. And every speech balloon he has got the dripping with the ice, um, to show that he's not too pleased. So it's a clever trick. I like the trick. Telegram from Mr. Frankie Spaghetti. But I think if I do this kind of weird little outline here, I think that'll work. I'm in ink layer, and I'm in this layer. I don't want to use the Kirby Crackle here because it's not like hot energy. This is going to be like cold, cold energy of some kind. We could even do and put it on another layer just to figure it out. You could even do like a kind of a halo glow. It seems cheesy, but this is it is kind of drawn in the Disney style, and it would not be out of place in any Silver Age comic to do it like this. I did something similar with the runes. Actually, that looks pretty good. I think we're going to stick with it. And then I'm going to erase all the stuff where that interferes. No, okay, some of it interferes on the ink layer. This interferes right here. And this well, that's not it. That ain't it, yo. All right. Level 19. We're going to call this Halo Glow. I'm still reading the archives of Silver Age Justice League. And this has got to be the corniest comic ever made. Well, no. I mean, all of Silver Age DC is super corny. But it's still good. Like, that's the thing. People look back at it and laugh, but it's, you know, Snapper Carr and his goofy stuff. But it's got also Starro and Conjaro and Amazo, and a million aliens. There's always an alien involved. There's one, and you can tell this is Gardner Fox really kind of reaching for it, where it has this intelligent, shimmering curtain of light called I. And like, just for me describing that intelligent, what do you envision? You envision like the northern lights, the aurora borealis, um, and that's obviously what he meant by it. But when you see it in the comic, the way that the artist Mike Zukowski interpreted it is it's literally a curtain, and it's like a glowing curtain. So it's, you know, that's a pretty typical miscommunication between the writer and the artist. And he probably didn't have the ability to even differentiate. Like you said, you asked for a curtain, so I drew one. Um, but to their credit, the way they colored it perfect. They colored it was like white with kind of shimmering pinks and blues and light yellows. Looked great, but it was, it was literally drawn as a curtain. Even though all the descriptive text. I'm just a shimmering curtain of light. All right, same deal here. I'll make sure that. There we go. And I'm hiding these lines inside the panels because what I want to do is, at least in this case, we're going to use the panel borders as guardrails or guidance. So that when we do our flood fill, she left it with me to give to you. Here's the line. She left it with me to give to you. Let's take the words me and you and make those bold. You show great promise as a wizard. Um, I could bold all of great promise or great promise. I could. I'm going to do both words, but it changes the cadence of the line. That looks nicer. I'm gonna have to redo the bubble. Here we go. And then this is the complicated part. I can do this as one speech bubble, but this yes, I'm quite dead. I don't want to connect it to this one because it would cross the staff. The truth is, we're not too concerned over if they read this one first or this one first because it works both ways. If he says, yes, I'm quite dead, and Balin answers with, but you can't be, that's the same as, but you can't be, and then answered with, yes, I'm quite dead. So splitting them up does not hurt it at all. And, oh, there's another thing we can do. I need you boys to do one last thing. If we connect these two, then we guarantee that it will be the last thing read. Swears, but I still need you. This is a nicer... See, this is the shape you want. It's a diamond shape with the words that are... we got this line, and then this line is longer, and then the last line is shorter. This is less good, where it's the two top lines are big and then the small line at the bottom. And this is okay, but it's not the best. It's where everything is exactly equal. This is what you don't want, with two long lines and then two short lines. So this, whoops, let's leave it like this. I still contend that the hardest thing to do in comics is lettering. It's much harder than drawing, in my opinion. All right. Okay, I could connect these, but it'll cross the shield. So we don't have to guarantee it. This will be the last thing read anyways. All right, let's do this supernatural outline. Lettering balloons is just it's a matter of balance and composition more than anything else. I tried to take a lettering course through Qbert Online, and it was going to be Taylor Esposito, and he canceled out of the course at the last minute, so I didn't end up getting that course. And they were able to roll me into um, one of the drawing courses. And then when it came back, I decided I'd picked up enough. I mean, he's really teaching Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, which I don't want to use as my lettering tool. I'm more interested in kind of the philosophy, the thinking behind the lettering. Like that's what I really need to know. And I think one of the courses that I ended up in was Sergio Cariello. And while he was demoing something, he like explained everything about how to do lettering, like just casually, like, oh, by the way, this is how you do this. And he's not even like he was teaching narrative art. He's not even renowned for. He's mostly known as a um, for teaching figure drawing, but he's super dedicated. I really want to. If he teaches again, I'll take a class from him again because that course was kind of ruined by kind of a bad, annoying student that was in the course. But and I could tell he was really annoyed by the end of the course, Sergio. So he wasn't too happy with any of us. But but if he were to teach again, I think I would probably pick that course up pretty quick. And I think he even does the same stuff every time. He usually teaches from a Lone Ranger script that he did. Um, all right, there's no background in the scene, but we're in the shouldn't have done that. I was on the wrong layer. There's no background in the scene, but we could put a background in. We're looking. We got two semi-establishing shots up here. We want to show that the house is collapsing and on fire, so we're going to show some leaning timbers. There could be some darkness behind him. They didn't leave a lot of room in the foreground. It's not important to do backgrounds on every page. It's nice to have. It's important to do an establishing shot once, I would say every 1.5 pages. So I've got one right here, and I try and get an establishing shot. I try to go a little bit further than that. I would say that's the minimum standard. Um, and try and get an establishing shot on every page. The alternative is full mango where it's just you just have figures. You know, that's what everyone loves to draw is figures. All right. I want his beak to look a little more slender since he's dead. One idea I had, I'm probably not going to do it. We could have his dead feet, kind of like the off panel, to show that he's dead and that just what you're seeing is his ghost. I think it's a little bit too on point as a gag. Like it's a little too much, but it would be funny. All right. All right. I like this glow effect. We forgot to put it in on the bottom panel, so let's do that. Oh man, we're already at 30 minutes. All right. Once I finish the glow effect, we'll call it an evening. An evening at the Improv. Oops. Keep it rolling. Got to keep it rolling. Ugh. And then I can get back to sketchbooking. Sketchbooking has been my real joy lately. I've been really enjoying it. I feel like I'm making some huge breakthroughs. This 100 mix challenge is really paying off for me. As far as understanding, I'm getting like a almost instinctual sense of the objects that I'm trying to draw. And like compared to my early ones, this is the cool thing about one of these 100 draw 100 of anything challenge is you can just look and you can see your progress. You can see it really quick. I think if I ever become a Zen master or something like that, and I have, your Padawan students that come up to you and say, how do you learn this? I think I will always say draw 100 of it because it seems to work, and it goes in line with my core philosophy of um, anything worth doing takes a bit of time and effort. And yeah, you're going to end up with a big callus on your finger, and you're going to end up feeling pretty tired by the end of it. You don't have to do it all at once, though. And you don't have to do it all as, like spend 6 months doing this when do nothing else. Just start now, number them, log them. And when you get to 100, make a comparison. See if it did work. I don't know. I think it would work. It's only when you get to people who feel like they don't have to improve. Those people will not improve. If they don't think they have to, they won't. I think that's a truism. A bit of humility will go a long way. Almost want to put a split beam going down behind him. Okay. That's looking good. I know in 4 minutes over time. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more exciting comics every day. I think tomorrow I'll either be doing tones for this page, probably tomorrow. If it's not tones for this page, then you'll probably get a chance to see me draw out roughs of some more of the scene playing out between Alcabets and the boys, uh, Perseus and Balin. Talk to you later. Have a great day.